There's so much going on. And I wanted to do an energy update because, oh, good God, what is happening? What is reality? If this is the first time that we're meeting, welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Jessie. I'm a psychic medium. I'm a therapist. I help psychics and intuitives, highly sensitive people hone in, develop their skills. Yeah, welcome. Okay, if you have not watched the April energy theme, I will be touching on some of that. So you might want to go watch that first. There's also some other videos that I recently put out that I'll be touching on as well. So the psychic protection video that I put out in March, and then I believe it was in February, I put out a video of co-creating a reality and shifting timelines, and I will be touching on some of those. So if you're watching and doesn't make sense, I will reference those videos too, so you know you can go watch those first. We're about halfway through April, and dear God, if you're questioning reality more than you have been for the past few years, then you're right aligned with the energy. It's wild. So, a lot of things that I wanted to touch on around this. And the first one that I wanted to touch on is the dream space, dreamland, however you want to call it. This I actually did not channel myself. I was watching a video from Elizabeth April, so I will not claim to have channeled this myself. I don't watch a lot of other videos of channelers just because I like to keep my channel clear, but I intuitively felt called to watch this video. And what she was talking about is it's starting to get foggier between the 3D world and dreamland. And so again, the questioning of reality, the past few years it has felt like time has been blurred. It's really hard to know what day it is. Time feels off. Just sort of like the constructs of reality just feel a lot more foggy. And within that too is going to feel less, how do I want to describe this? The line between our waking life and our dream life is going to feel less clear. Within that too, there has been an up-leveling, if you will, or psychic attacks, at least for me personally, and I'm noticing other creators talking about this, other intuitive psychics and my clients as well, saying that their dreams are getting very intense, they're getting very vivid, and again, psychic attacks are on the rise. So what I will say is I put out a video that I mentioned on psychic protection, but I recently came into some really powerful hacks, if you will, that I wanted to share on this video for this because it's important. And one of the things that I was discussing with my own therapist, who she is also a psychic medium, just really powerful, intuitive in general, we were having this conversation around normalizing that psychic attacks are kind of part of it, and empowering us to understand that we have the ability, and this is one of the hacks, we have the ability to alchemize any energy that is thrown at us. So if we are psychically attacked, we are able to take that energy, we are alchemizers. We are able to take that energy and transmute it into a more positive, powerful, high vibration, however you want to name that. So know that that is an inherent ability within you. And so how do we do that? We do that through visualization techniques. We do that through getting into a meditative space. And so how I will share a recent psychic attack that happened for me. I was in dreamland, and all of a sudden it was very intense. I was swarmed by a bunch of bees. And generally for me, bees are a good omen. But in this instance, I called in my energetic boundaries. I called in my guides, and it worked for a second. And then the bees started flying into my ears, and I felt it physically, and I woke up. I was very jarred when I woke up. I don't normally wake up out of a sleep in a panic, but that was what happened. And so I was discussing this with my therapist, and we were sort of breaking it down, and we helped me start to develop visualization techniques that would help me bring out this energy, this psychic attack, and then start to alchemize it. So for me, we developed this tool of, for me, starting to visualize, you know, how you smoke bees out, was starting to my visualization technique is to see myself smoking these bees out with bright white light, with, you know, whatever makes sense for me at the time, and then calling in my guides to help me alchemize these bees. What came to mind for me in that moment was flowers, was turning them into flowers, was alchemizing them into this energy, and I just gave these flowers to the earth. So that's what you can do. You can give the energy to source, you can give it to the earth, you can give it to trees, water, you know, whatever sort of energetic source that is going to help further alchemize this energy. So visualization techniques, super powerful, and meditative spaces. So one of the other energetic updates that I wanted to touch on, and before I transition into that, if you're wanting more of an overall energetic maintenance, I would watch that video that I posted around psychic protection, because that's going to be things that you can do to keep your vibration high. And so when you do get psychically attacked, again, this is happening in dream space a lot. So even for me last night, there was this energy that was trying to paralyze me. And again, my guide stepped in, my higher self stepped in, pulled me up and out. And so then I've been doing these energetic practices again of visualizing, how do I want to remove this energy from me, and how can I alkalize it? Okay, the other thing that I wanted to say, and then I'll move into the other message that I wanted to channel, is light. These dark energies don't like light. And so if you want to sleep with a salt lamp, if you want to sleep with, you know, any sort of light that you can bring in, having the blinds open a little bit so the moonlight comes in, you know, whatever it is, in a way that feels comfortable for you. I'm also currently sleeping with a protective amulet. I always sleep with protective crystals. Again, you can watch that video. So, okay, I think that's all. Yeah, just know that as this starts to get foggier between dream life and between waking life, like, this is going to happen, but you are stronger than the intention of any negative entity, being anyone who's trying to psychically attack you. So do what feels best for you when it comes to protection. Okay, the second thing that I wanted to touch on is meditation. And the intensity of April and the upcoming months is here to reveal to us how malleable our reality is, and how it is molded by our mind, our mindset, our beliefs. That is how we shape this external reality. And so I touched on this in the April energy reading meditation, but I wasn't like tuning into just how strong and important it is to meditate at this time. And what's interesting is that as things start to get foggier in our reality, it's to show us just how much we are able to mold our reality, and that we can start to go down timelines on a much more consistent basis. We can shift timelines much quicker. And again, this is that video that I recommended, our co-creating reality, shifting timelines. I use the metaphor of the staircases in Hogwarts and Harry Potter, of how you can be walking on one set of stairs, and then when your vibration shifts, then the staircase will shift and point you to a new destination. That's how my guides were describing it. And so again, as things feel foggy, as things just feel like kind of in this weird dream like, but you're not dreaming, but you kind of are space, it is showing us just how malleable our reality is. Okay, what else did they want to say around this? You were going somewhere else with this. Oh yes, meditation. So it's interesting because you can see something one day and it's like an event that has happened collectively, and then the next day you might wake up and that event didn't necessarily happen, or it's not being talked about, especially like, if you're on TikTok or, something like that, it can feel like there's a very solidified timeline, but then the next day it's not. And again, it's because our reality is shifting. And so we're just seeing like how much the staircases can actually change. So if you want to feel like you have more autonomy, it's meditation. If you see something and you're like, that is not the outcome that I want for myself and for the collective, I'm going to go into a meditative space. And again, these visualization techniques, like, I can't harp on this enough. It is seeing what you are intending for by physically feeling it and by putting the power out there and knowing that you are that powerful. It is seeing through your third eye and putting that energy out there. If there's something in the external that you do not like, you have the ability to shift it through the internal, right? So meditation. And if you're someone who's rolling your eyes and you're like, I can't meditate, I completely understand that. So there's a way to ease into more of that stereotypical meditative space by I don't know, walking or driving or whatever puts you in this state where you're not up in your head and you're more in your body and you're more in the moment. Find that. And meditation, it can feel like a lot, especially if you're a beginner, but I promise you, you will get to that space where it starts to feel really good. So meditation is important. Also, fitness is a great way to get into a meditative state and to get into that space where you can really reprogram, rewire your mind. Okay. Anything else that you want to share about the current energies? Yeah. Just a reminder that we are more powerful than these systems and structures, and those who have been in power have led us to believe. And we really do shift this reality through the mind, through these energetic practices. So please don't doubt the power that you have within you. And when it comes to things like psychic attacks, you are more powerful than anyone, than any intention, than any negative entity, than any negative being out there. So know that you do have the power to alchemize it. Yeah, wild times out there. Make sure to take care of yourself. And I am sending you love.